just another fighter.
No, he ain't just another fighter.
Ghost, we get together, have a few laughs.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BacktrackCinema. My name is Jason, and this is the Wolfman from MegaMoviez. Next to me here, this is the first award show up on the channel. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Wolfman in the description below. And we're going to do a 1980s award show tonight. Something that was in the making for a very long time. If you've been following me on my shorts, the YouTube channel, you see me. I put out all sorts of stuff for this. The nominations are all voted by my community tab too. It was a people's choice, so it took a lot to cipher through everything and all that kind of jazz. So we're going to run down through all the winners of all these categories, and you guys can follow along, be active in the chat if you like, all of that. But Wolfman, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me on here, man. I love the 80s. That's one of my favorite decades in cinema in general. And just the fact that you were having an award show about it made me really excited. And I remember coming to you saying, like, I need to be a part of this. And I was very and I was very excited that you and happy that you allowed me to be on for tonight to present and help you do this.
Yeah, awesome. So the way it's going to work, guys, is that I'm going to Wolfman and I are going to bounce back with each category. I'm going to start off with the first winner, then he'll do the second one. All that, it'll be easy to follow along, guys. I got a lot of clips and shit and all that kind of stuff to handle, so just bear with me if there's pausing and stuff like that. But let me see who's at the red carpet banging on the door here. Brandon, one of my great YouTube members.
Yo, what's up, man?
How you doing, Brandon? I hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. It says, yo. Film Kid says, hello. I'm finishing up Goodfellas right now. Freaking love this movie. It's top 5 for me. Good movie. Good movie.
Good. Favorite Martin Scorsese film for me. It's so good.
He says, still prefer Scarface, but they're close. Scarface is really good too, man. I may like Scarface more too, myself.
My favorite Brian De Palma film, Scarface. Yeah, it's great.
And Brandon says BT Awards and Horror Addicts. Yeah. Ag. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tim, what's up, boys? Now, in the chat, you guys have to do something for me. Okay. I got a bottle of whiskey here. Okay? I got a shot glass. So, you have to pick every time. You got to pick this movie. Every time, let's pick Raiders of the Lost Ark, Terminator, Back to the Future, or The Shining. I have to take a shot if one of those movies wins, but you got to tell me what movie in the chat. Okay? Terminator, Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Shining. Pick one of those movies that you think is going to win the most, and I have to take a shot of whiskey every time that movie wins. And Wolfman's going to be my backup in case things get out of hand. So.
Yeah, I'm used to doing all the drinking games on my channel, so don't worry. If he starts to stumble, I'll be able to take over from there. although I have a little bit of alcohol myself too. I have the Miller High Life and a few other things. So this may get kind of wild tonight, guys. Just so y'all know.
Yes. All the good names are taking podcasts. I'm assuming this is Ronnie or Blake. I think it's Ronnie. He said awards night. Yes. Okay, so he says Back to the Future. We got a Terminator.
Nice.
We got Raiders, and we got another Terminator.
Interesting.
So there's not many of you here, so I'll say Terminator. Okay, declaring.
So far, Terminator is the winner. Yeah.
So far,
if
I'm
more
declaring.
Come through, then we'll, yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone else comes through, but as far as we know, Terminator, I have to take a shot. So yeah. But that's awesome. But you guys, you came here for an award show, not to sit here and talk anymore. So bear with me here because I got to get the list. All right. So I'm going to start off. We got best visual effects. Let me grab this comment off.
Nice.
Covers up this. Okay, and I'll try to answer your questions, guys, throughout the stream. Just bear with me. Okay, best visual effects, guys. The nominees are Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, The Terminator, Ghostbusters, and The Abyss. All voted by you, remember. The people. This is the people's choice. So, who is the winner? And the winner is of best visual effects. So the winner is Who Framed Roger Rabbit for best visual effects. Wolfman, do you agree with that?
Okay, so they're very good effects. I think they are great, but when you're going up against something like the Terminator and Back to the Future, to me those were otherworldly. When I saw those, like I got to see both films on like re-releases in theaters, and just seeing those, like I've seen them many times before, but just seeing them on big screens and such like that, it just takes your breath away what they're able to pull off of those visual effects. Yeah. And then when Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it's fun. The cartoon, the mix of cartoon animation with live action, it's really well done. But I don't feel like the visual effects made a stamp on Hollywood in the same way Back to the Future and Terminator did, personally. That's just me.
I'm surprised Blade Runner wasn't on there. I had it on I had it on there, but it didn't get in. It never got in.
Wow.
Oh, fuck, right. You son of a bitch. You've given me money. I have to do it.
Everyone, just super chat him. If you just super chat over and over, and then
no, don't hurt me, guys. Just don't hurt me. Take it easy. To you, my friend.
Yeah.
Good thing I love whiskey. All right. I never saw Who Framed Roger. Really?
Well,
wow.
It's a great one. I definitely recommend it.
Brandon says I agree with Wolfman.
Yeah. But no, if Blade Runner was here, I for sure would have voted Blade Runner. I mean, to me, those are like maybe the best visual effects of the 80s. Like those are phenomenal.
All right. All right, Wolfman. Best makeup effects. We have.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You're up.
For best makeup effects, we have The Thing, Return of the Living Dead, The Terminator, Hellraiser, and An American Werewolf in London. And the winner is The Thing.
There we have it.
There you have it.
I don't think there's a disagreement with that, man. I completely agree with it.
I am in complete agreement with it. It's the best makeup I think I've ever seen in a horror movie. Just the practical effects, the way they still hold up today. You watch them all these years later, and I'm still terrified from them. Everyone who knows me knows my taste in movies. Knows The Thing is my number one favorite horror movie of all time. So I have such an admiration for this film, and I think it's John Carpenter's masterpiece. And I just think that, it absolutely deserves to win here. All the other films are great, and I'll give them credit where credit's due, especially American Werewolf in London. Like the transformation scene that actually won an Oscar in that film is phenomenal. But The Thing to me just stands the test of time when it comes to just what they were able to achieve there.
Well, there's so many practical effects in it too. There was just so many, right? Film Kid quickly says, "Can you give me your thoughts on Wolf of Wall Street?" Which I know is going to be hard. I haven't seen that in a while, but I remember liking it.
The Wolfman approves of Wolf of Wall Street. That's awesome.
Brandon says the thug.
The thug.
All right. Oh, sorry. The Thing greater than Halloween? Oh yeah, easily for me.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, what's next? What do I have here? Ooh, best song in a movie: Eye of the Tiger, Rocky 3. We got Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins for Top Gun. Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr., Stand By Me by Ben E. King, and Don't You Forget About Me, Simple Minds from The Breakfast Club. So, the winner is best song in a movie. Yes!
Oh man,
You know,
let me tell you, that was a hard category though. Like every single song there.
Eye of the Tiger though is so iconic, and it's one of those songs I think about when I think of the 80s. But not only that, it's a good song in general. That's still pretty popular. This live stream's going to get copyrighted to the core. That's why I kept it short. I think I'll be okay. That's why I wanted it may not be, but you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm keeping it short. Don't You Forget About Me. Yeah, you know what? That's a good one too. That's a good one too.
That one's phenomenal. But then also like Stand By Me, like I love that song, and just like there's so many good ones on that list. Like it was hard to choose.
Absolutely, man. Tim says, I think you guys should take a shot for Eye of the Tiger. No. Shot J for Eye of the Tiger. No. That's not the rules.
Yeah.
Not the rules. Film K, can you give me ideas for if we do a watch party? I don't know. It just depends what I feel like watching in the moment, Film Kid. Don't worry, I'll come on your channel eventually. I'm just so busy right now. All right, Wolfman, you got film score coming up. So here we go.
The nominees for Best Film Score are Back to the Future from Alan Silvestri, Aliens from James Horner, Raiders of the Lost Ark from John Williams, A Nightmare on Elm Street from Charles Bernstein, and The Karate Kid from Bill Conti. And your winner is Back to the Future, Alan Silvestri.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one. I won't argue with it. The only thing I just couldn't wrap my brain around with my community. I love you guys so much, but Predator got so many little votes, and I can't believe it. It's one of the best scores of the 80s. And it's done by Alan Silvestri too. Funny enough, he still won. But yeah, that shocked me. But still, I won't argue too much with Back to the Future there.
Yeah, I can't really argue too much against the two. I mean, the only thing I probably would have that I would consider nominating here that wasn't nominated is the score for Once Upon a Time in America from Ennio Morricone, or the score from Ennio Morricone, the score from The Thing. That was also one I would have considered because The Thing score is very iconic for me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's between Nightmare on Elm Street and Back to the Future, in my opinion. I also look at scores as how well it drives the movie. It's how well how well it's a character inside the movie.
Yeah.
And for me, Predator does so much. Like I would have had it over Back to the Future, but I mean, there were some good ones there. Like Karate Kid's really good. Raiders, I thought, was actually going to win that, but it didn't. So, and
I'm surprised no ET either, because ET also has a fantastic score. Yeah.
All right, this will be a fun one. Best animated movie, guys, and we got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Little Mermaid, Transformers from 1986, The Fox and the Hound, and Heavy Metal, which is an adult cartoon, animated nonetheless. And your winner is for Best Animated Film. Here we go.
Which way did he go?
Well, I don't know, but he went that away.
There it is. Who Framed Roger Rabbit picks up its second award. And, you know, I won't argue with that either. It's a good movie and everything. I really like Secret of Nim, but it never even made the top 5.
That's crazy. I mean, I love The Little Mermaid. I love a lot of other anime films on this list. I do sort of have an issue, and I've had debates with this on my channel before too, about does a film technically count as an anime film if it also has the same amount of screen time as in live action, you know? Yeah. So it's one of those kind of things. And so for me personally, I would have given this to something like The Little Mermaid or the film that scarred me for life. When I watched that Transformers film, it scarred me. What they do.
Oh, when Optimus Prime died?
Like, when Optimus Prime died as a kid, I was like, I couldn't deal with that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That's a good movie too. That's one you can actually, as an adult, go back to and still watch. And it's classic.
Absolutely.
Brandon says, honestly, I haven't seen A Fox and the Hound since I was a kid. Really?
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Okay, we're going into our comedy section now, guys. There'll be a comedy section, a horror section, then the big enchiladas after. So we got Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. We have Annie Potts for Ghostbusters. We have Ali Sheedy for The Breakfast Club. We have Carol Kane for Scrooged, Catherine O'Hara for Beetlejuice, and Amy Madigan for Uncle Buck. And I took your turn, didn't I, Wolfman? So
you did.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We have Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy. We have Annie Potts for Ghostbusters, Ali Sheedy for The Breakfast Club, Carol Kane for Scrooged, Catherine O'Hara for Beetlejuice, and Amy Madigan for Uncle Buck. And your winner is Catherine O'Hara for Beetlejuice.
If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me.
Bro, I love Catherine O'Hara. She's
so
great.
The musical part at the dinner table. She was fantastic in that movie. Who else did we have on there? We had Annie Potts. Yeah, she was really good. Carol Kane and Scrooge was really good.
Oh yeah.
And
then the Uncle Buck.
Amy Madigan, yeah.
Amy Madigan. Yeah, she was great in that.
But I won't argue with Catherine O'Hara too much.
Yeah.
So, what do we got here?
I agree.
Oh, Brandon says Catherine O'Hara all day. And he says, I love Annie Potts, though. Yeah, she was very, very good in Ghostbusters. She's very good, and my wife watches a lot of sitcoms. What she was, I saw her in something. Sheldon Show. She's the grandmother.
Yeah.
She's fantastic in that show.
I mean, and also Catherine O'Hara has familiarity with sitcoms from Schitt's Creek and how great she was in that. Yeah.
Annie Potts, because this is the only movie I've seen out of all of these. Oh, dude, you got to watch some of these, man. They're really good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Movie Jeff. He says, love the 80s. How you doing, man? Glad you showed up. Tim says, solid choice. She was awesome in Beetlejuice. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're on Best Supporting Actor.
In a Comedy, Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy. Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters. Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future. Crispin Glover, Back to the Future. Alan Ruck in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Randy Quaid in Christmas Vacation. So, here we go. Your winner for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy is Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Of course, from a group of Libyan nationalists They wanted me to build them a bomb. So I took their plutonium and in turn gave them a shiny bomb casing full of used pinball machine parts.
I love that part.
He's so great. But I'd love to see Randy Quaid for Christmas Vacation in there because I quote that movie all the time. Most of the quotes come from Randy Quaid himself. Like, that's so great.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this is close between Christopher Lloyd and Dan Aykroyd, but I'll have to give it to Christopher Lloyd. He was so good. He was really good in it.
It was.
Brandon says, great Scott. And it's also the chemistry of Michael J. Fox is really key in that movie. And the makeup and everything about the movie is perfection as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, it's really great stuff. Tim says that category should be a tie like the kids' sports now. Everyone gets a trophy. You know, this is a span of 10 years or 80 to 89 guys. So there's a lot of movies that got left out. Trust me. A lot of great movies that got left out. So
there's a lot of interesting movies that I feel could have been here that aren't, but still though I'm happy Christopher Lloyd won. He is arguably the standout of Back to the Future. He's phenomenal in that film. So
all right, you're up, Wolfman.
So the nominees for Best Actress in a Comedy are Sigourney Weaver, Ghostbusters; Leah Thompson, Back to the Future; Goldie Hawn for Overboard; Meg Ryan, When Harry Met Sally; and Kelly LeBrock for Weird Science. And your winner is Sigourney Weaver, Ghostbusters.
Are you the key master?
Not that I know of.
She was great in that movie, man. Very great. And I love Sigourney Weaver as an actress, so I wasn't going to argue with her winning at all.
I also want to point out though, like I love Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah,
that is just such a great performance, and there's a lot of great performances here. But I just really wanted to give a shout out to Meg Ryan for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Goldie Hawn and Overboard, I love her in that movie.
She's so good.
So I'm glad she made the actual top 5. Brandon's got Leah Thompson. Okay. Brandon says, I think Tom Wilson should have been nominated for Best Side Character as well. Yeah, I don't think I actually had him. Guys, what I did when I put out onto my community, I actually looked at lists all over the internet, the most popular people, popular characters of the 80s who actually won the Oscars. But this award show was more of people who... There's more of a genre, like movies that never got nominated that you'd like to see win. So that's the way. And then you guys I had like 20, 25 nominees, and then we shrunk it down to 5. We narrowed it down to 5. So I would give my vote to Leah Thompson and Back to the Future. Okay. Filmkin says, well, got to get going. Have a good live. Thank you, man. Thanks for showing up. Alrighty.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, is this my turn now? I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Best Actor in a Comedy, guys. Paul Hogan for Crocodile Dundee, Leslie Nielsen for The Naked Gun, Eddie Murphy for Beverly Hills Cop, Michael J. Fox for Back to the Future, and Jim Varney for Ernest Goes to Camp. And your winner for Best Actor in a Comedy is Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop.
You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
There you go, Eddie Murphy. That was a loaded category.
Very
actually
loaded. I love Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee. Like that's such a good performance. There's a lot there. That was really good. But But I'm very happy for Eddie Murphy. I think that was a very deserving win. He was excellent in Beverly Hills Cop. That's one of his like standout roles for sure.
And launched him too. And I like that Jim Varney got nominated. Great as Ernest, and Ernest Goes to Camp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a loaded list. Paul Hogan, I just watched both Crocodile Dundee's 1 and 2, and he's fantastic in that role. I think the character is way bigger than the movie is. It's like sometimes characters become bigger than what the movie is, and he's definitely one of them.
For sure.
Brandon, the banana. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
So
Love it.
I'm very looking forward to when the new Beverly Hills Cop releases on Netflix. And
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. See if it keeps the same charm as.
I guess I'll be watching Roadhouse next week. It's coming right onto Netflix too. I think is it Netflix?
Amazon Prime. But yeah.
Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was Best Actor in a Comedy. Go ahead, Wolfman, with Best Comedy.
Best Comedy Film. We have Back to the Future, National Lampoon's Vacation, Ghostbusters, Ferris Bueller Day Off, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And your winner is Back to the Future.
Hey, McFly!
This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
You're my mom. You're my mom.
Back to the Future. I won't argue with that. I know it's not pure comedy as far as like. See, that movie's strange. It's so many things, but it's not like
it's a bunch of things tied in together. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And for me personally, I mean, this is like nostalgia for me. But I like Vacation, but I've always preferred Christmas Vacation. And it's just like nostalgia for me. So I would have loved to see like Christmas Vacation in here. And The Breakfast Club could have been in here because that's also a comedy, like coming of age comedy. That was
surprisingly
really
it never got in.
Yeah.
It was not. I had it out there, but I mean, like you're talking 9 years of freaking great flicks, man. It's strange. So Brandon's got Vacation. Vacation's a good one. It's a real good one. All right, moving right along, guys. We're gonna go to our horror section now.
Nice.
All right. So, Best Supporting Actress in a Horror Film. We have Dee Wallace from Critters. Lenita Quigley from Return of the Living Dead. Danielle Harris from Halloween 4. Phoebe Cates from Gremlins. And Jamie Gertz from The Lost Boys. And your winner from Backtrack BtCinema's Best Supporting Actress in a Horror Film is Danielle Harris from Halloween 4. There you go. Congratulations to Danielle Harris from Halloween 4. She's definitely a fan favorite. Obviously, she won. So.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. No, she's excellent. She is one of the best parts about Halloween 4, and I mean the whole lineup is great. But honestly, like that is one of the best child performances in the '80s. I feel like for child performances is like more hit or miss than it is today. Like in today's day and age, like, it seems like child performances are like really, really good. But back in the '80s, it was like ever so often. But she completely knocked it out of the park as a child, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, she was quite good, and she's going against caliber actresses there, like Dee Walls and Critters, and some good stuff. Hey, brother Fluff, how are you? Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey,
Tim says again, I pick a tie and I'll have a shot. Nope, not yet. Brandon, evening, brother Fluff. You're all talking to each other. There we go. Yeah, I won't argue with that. Halloween 4. I'm trying to think who was actually on those lists, but Yeah, Dee Wallace. Lenina Quigley was good too in Return of the Living Dead. Phoebe Cates and Gremlins. Like that was a good list. All right, so we're gonna go to Best Supporting Actor in Horror now. You're up, Wolfman.
Best supporting actor in
Yeah.
a horror movie. We have Roddy McDowall for Fright Night, Kiefer Sutherland for The Lost Boys, Corey Feldman for Friday the 13th Part 4, James Carnan for Return of the Living Dead, and Doug Bradley for Hellraiser. And your winner is Kiefer Sutherland for The Lost Boys.
Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
I love me some Kiefer Sutherland, man. I love me some Kiefer Sutherland. And, he's a fan favorite from The Lost Boys. Lost Boys is such a cult classic, such a great film for a lot of people. And I like Kiefer Sutherland for many reasons. For 24, the show. But, man, he's definitely good as the vampire in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I mean, he absolutely, I think, stole the show in Lost Boys. Like, he's phenomenal in Lost Boys. And so I have no qualms with him winning whatsoever.
Brother Fluff says James Karen. That's who he would have picked. Brandon says Roddy McDowall. He was good too, man. Scottish Geek Guy says, howdy, folks. How you doing, man? Brandon says Fright Night, maybe my favorite vampire movie. Fright Night is my favorite vampire movie.
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm a huge Fright Night fan.
It is, yeah, it might be, well, it's one of my favorite vampire movies. It's that and Let the Right One In, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Best Actress in a Horror Film. We got Shelley Duvall for The Shining, Heather Langenkamp for Nightmare on Elm Street, Dee Wallace for Cujo, Jo Beth Williams for Poltergeist, and Gina Davis for The Fly. To say this list is stacked is an understatement. But your winner for Best Actress in a Horror Film is Shelley Duvall from The Shining. All right, I got something to say. My community lost me on this one fucking completely.
Really?
Yes. I know Shelley Duvall was pushed, but she's not terribly awesome in this film at all. I mean, there's moments she is. Dee Wallace destroys her as far as acting, as far as I'm concerned, in Cujo. So you guys lost me on that, but this is why it's people's choice.
And Heather Langenkamp too, and
Heather Langenkamp, I would have picked over Shelley Duvall.
She's also
so. I'm still not warming up to that performance at times. Yes, but other times I'm just like, she's not really that good in it, man. I hate. Yeah. I feel bad for her what she had to go through in the movie. Trust me, I do. I mean, that must have been hell. But I mean, I've seen a lot better performances than that. But what do you think? Well, I know you're a big fan of The Shining, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of The Shining. The Shining is incredible to me, and I think that I'll give her credit where credit's due. I mean, she seemed very terrified in the film. She acted her ass off the best she could, and you could tell that it was all real because of how she was pushed into it. And I'm glad to hear. I think that she's making a return. I heard she's coming back in some horror movie that she's doing soon, which is really good. So I'm glad to see that she's making a comeback. I'm glad to see that she is finally going, like, she's getting over what happened to her. But it is just, I do agree with you though. Heather Langenkamp, Dee Wallace on Cujo, like, there's a lot of better performances than her. But when you're talking about the movie itself, like The Shining itself probably trumps all these. But when it comes to actually the performance, I think I'm in agreement with you. So,
Scottish Geek Guy says Lost Boys is an all-time classic. Like each generation discovers it and loves it. Yeah, I agree. Brandon says I love Nancy, but I give it to Jo Beth Williams. Oh, okay.
All right.
Brother Shelley Duvall, worst batting stance ever. Brandon, I'm very confused. It's the people, man. The acting in The Shining overall hammy. You know, a lot of people love it. Uh-oh, Jason, turning in a disappointed father.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Wolfman, you're up with Best Actor in a Horror Film.
So, Best Actor in a Horror Film. The nominees are Donald Pleasance, Halloween 4, Anthony Perkins, Psycho 2, Jack Nicholson, The Shining, Robert Englund, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Kurt Russell, The Thing. And your winner is Jack Nicholson, The Shining.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
What do you think?
So, I'm not mad with this one because Jack Nicholson is phenomenal in The Shining. Like, as far as his performance, he is meant to be over the top in that movie. He's meant to go crazy. He's meant to be kind of psychotic and overdone that. And I've always said to my friends, God forbid, I hope they never remake The Shining. But if they ever do remake The Shining, they should get Nicolas Cage as Jack Torrance because I feel like he would fit with the way that he can go, you know, eccentric and over the top and all that stuff. But you know, Kurt Russell is so good, in the film, man. He's so good.
Fucking Robert Englund, man. What he did with that. Don't think about the series. We're talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first movie. That's what we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
that's the performance we're talking about here. Donald Pleasance, you know, he's really good too.
Yeah,
Anthony Perkins in Psycho 2. Here's the thing with Jack Nicholson. I love him as an actor. I don't think The Shining's his best work though. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a far better performance than what he gives in The Shining. Yeah. But so you know what? Yeah, he's really good at it. Don't get me wrong, especially with all the takes he had to do because of perfectionist Stanley Kubrick there. He's really good in the film. It's just that sometimes that was a hard list because you got Anthony Perkins in Psycho 2, and you got Robert Englund though. Just what he did with Freddy in that first movie, I don't think his acting gets talked about enough. The way he moves, the body language, the voice, terrifying people. So
it's such a physical performance, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what is so brilliant about that one. And then Kurt Russell is a little bit more subtle in The Thing, but I feel like it's one of his most underrated performances. I don't feel enough people to really talk about his performance in The Thing and what he's.
No, because you're right, because it's subtle. He plays the character so well that you don't notice how good it is, how good he really is. Watch him in an interview. He recently was on I forgot what it is. Talk about his old movie, all his movies and stuff like that. It's like really recent.
Oh,
on YouTube there. What's it called again?
It's it's from GQ. It's where they break down all their most iconic role. Yeah.
And the way he talks in the interview, you go, man, this guy's nothing like his characters. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
Brandon says get Patrick Wilson to play Jack Torrance. You know, it's a possibility actually. He could play a real person too. Brandon says, are you kidding? Hey, I didn't vote. Hey, if I got the vote, you guys would know where all these would be landing. That's why I don't vote, because then it wouldn't be as fun. All right. We are on Best Horror Villain. Hold up. All right. It's my turn, right? Yeah, it's my turn. Best Horror Villain from the 1980s. We got Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street. We have Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Part 4. Michael Myers from Halloween 2. Jack Torrance from The Shining. And Chucky from Child's Play. And your winner for Best Horror Villain of the 80s is Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. There we go. Freddy's our boy.
I'm glad we're not doing like The Shining sweep here, because I might have like walked away if The Shining.
Oh, this is best horror villain. So there you go. 80s horror villain of all time. Freddy Krueger, man. I won't disagree with that. You take those first three movies, they're all in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Freddy 4 too is in the 80s too, but the first three, man, he really established a great villain, one we'll remember for the rest of our life.
I've always been, don't get me wrong, I love Jason. I love Michael Myers. They're iconic in their own ways. They're excellent. But for me, I've always been more of like a Freddy kid when I was growing up. I was a Fredhead. Yeah, exactly. I loved Freddy, man. He was so great.
Yeah, Brandon says Fred Krueger. Yep, he's called Fred Krueger in that.
And then just the idea of him scares me. You know, the idea of someone in your dreams. All of us go to sleep, so just the idea of someone in your dreams able to kill you in your dreams, just that idea just really haunts me and sticks with me. You know, and it was so effective, and I feel Robert Englund played it to perfection.
Absolutely, man. All right, here's the big one. Go ahead, Wolfman, with best horror movie.
Best horror film. And again, to say this is stacked would be an understatement. We have A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing, Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, The Evil Dead, and An American Werewolf in London. And your winner is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Yeah, I will not argue with that. One of my favorite horror films of all time, along with The Thing, actually, and the original Psycho. But if we're talking 80s, those two, The Thing and Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah, it's deserved it. It's definitely deserved that. I'm glad that people didn't lose the ball on that one.
Yeah, no, it absolutely deserves it. The Thing might be my favorite horror movie, but right close behind that is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Adore that film, and I also am surprised. I don't think The Shining was here, was it? I don't think it was, which is kind of shocking considering.
Yeah,
how
the people voted for other things on it, but they didn't vote when it comes to best horror film. There was a lot to choose from. So
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But he said, Brother Foster, speak for yourself. I'm from Florida. We don't sleep. Let me look at that again. Actually,
yeah, The Shining was missing, but we do have The Evil Dead in there. That was the first nomination for The Evil Dead, and that's a phenomenal horror film. So I'm very glad that was able to get in here.
Absolutely. All right. I don't want to miss anyone. Brandon says, yeah, all those are incredible. They certainly are, my friend. They certainly are. All right. Now we're getting to the action part of the show, guys. Our action category. A bunch of them coming up. We got best hero in a movie. So we got Indiana Jones from Raiders of the Lost Ark. John Rambo from Rambo 2. Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, because he's more of a hero on that than he is in Empire when you look at it. So Batman from Batman, and John McClane from Die Hard. And your winner for best hero in an 80s movie is John Rambo from Rambo 2. All right, I think Wolfman's going to disagree on this one. I did not, like I said, this is the people, but I think my people love Stallone. So,
yeah, I am definitely going to disagree with this one. I mean, you have Luke Skywalker here, who is, just some of the line, like he's like, I'm a Jedi, like my father before me, and it's so good. And then John McClane, man, John fucking McClane.
There's some good ones in here, man.
You can't go better than John McClane. Welcome to the party, pal. He's the best action hero of the 80s, in my opinion. Like, he is phenomenal. And then, of course, Batman. Michael Keaton's Batman, dude. Like, this is such a great list. And I'm not mad necessarily that Sylvester Stallone, that Rambo wins for Rambo 2, but like, come on, guys. Like, for me, he's like maybe 4th on this list. Like, there's so many other great ones I'd pick from. But I mean, hey, the people chose, and y'all love Rambo, so.
Well, this is what definitely where Rambo became that pulp culture hero, though. Like, this is definitely that movie. And as a kid, he was my hero. So as a kid, I wouldn't argue with it. But I mean, as far as if I'm being objective, Luke Skywalker, man, is pretty good hero to what he did. Pretty good hero, man.
I feel like if The Last Jedi would have never come out, I guarantee you Luke would have won this category, because I guarantee you people had their biases in The Last Jedi and what they ended up doing with Luke later, that they were like, okay, we can't vote for him now. It's like, yeah.
All right. Wolfman's gonna hand you guys the best villain.
Yeah.
In a movie, and this is a pretty stacked list too, man.
Oh man, let me tell you, this is absolutely stacked. But for best villain in a movie, we have the Predator from Predator, the T-800 from the Terminator, Darth Vader from The Empire Strikes Back, Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, and the Joker from Batman. And your winner is Darth Vader from Empire Strikes Back.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
Well, we didn't fail Darth. That had to be him.
Oh yeah,
I would have been
absolutely.
I would have been looking at all of you right now and say, "What the fuck?" Because he is just the best villain of all time.
Absolutely, I don't think anyone comes close to the level of Darth Vader. Like, to me, he's not only the best villain, but he also has the best redemption arc I've ever seen in a film because of what.
But that was a good list, man.
Yeah.
You had the Predator on there and Terminator, Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago would be against those people. He'd be a little bit more down on the list for me.
I want to mention, though, a villain that was not here that I am shocked did not make the list.
Let me guess, Hans Gruber.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It just didn't make the top 5.
Oh,
he didn't quite make it. Some of these guys made it just by 2%. Like, it was a tough list.
He is so good. And
yeah, I agree with you. I was like, wow, man, that guy didn't even make the list. Wow. All right, this is going to be fun. The next few categories are going to be really fun, guys. Now let's kind of talk about this for a bit. So I'm up, I believe. So we got best fight scene. So we got Rocky versus Drago in Rocky 4. Matrix versus Bennett in Commando. Luke versus Vader in Empire Strikes Back. Rocky versus Clubber Lang in Rocky 3. And Frank Dukes versus Chung Li in Bloodsport. And your winner for best fight scene of the 80s is Rocky versus Drago in Rocky 4. Honestly, the work Stallone put into that fight, it's really hard for me to argue this to be the winner, but there's some damn good fights in there, man.
Oh yeah.
Some damn ones. Even the Bloodsport one is so like it's great. And Luke versus Vader, that is a great fight.
The greatest scene in general, in my opinion, of all time. When it comes to this, any scene I've ever seen in a movie, the greatest scene is the throne room scene, in my opinion. Just what they do in that scene is just phenomenal. It's so good.
Yeah. The when he first gets there, and the cinematography and the smoke. You're not a Jedi yet. The Force is strong with you. That is the way that's lit. Absolutely phenomenal. But I mean, Stallone's heart got moved. He went to the hospital, comes back, finishes the fight 3 days later. This fight by Rocky versus Drago is pretty impressive, man.
And there's also some stakes there, knowing that Drago kills his friend. There's very high stakes built up into that fight, which adds the level of excitement to it. So, yeah, right.
Sure. Brandon says Matrix versus Bennett. Yeah, that's a good one too, man. It's a lot of fun. And he says Commando is a blast. All right. The Wolfman's going to take over for best action sequence.
Best action sequence. Here we go. We've got the truck chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Battle of Hoth from Empire Strikes Back, Dutch versus Predator from Predator, police station shootout in the Terminator, and John Matrix destroys a army from Commando. And your winner is the truck chase from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Very impressive, that truck chase scene. Very impressive. I'm surprised though, like that police station shootout in Terminator is phenomenal. Because of the emotion behind it and the devastation he's causing and the way it's shot and everything. But that truck chase, man, the way when Raiders come out, they weren't used to that kind of pacing. The way Steven Spielberg shot all that with the horse, and he's getting on the Jeep, and then he's on the front of the Jeep, and he's punching everyone, and it's crazy. It's so good for its time.
It's like how, like, when the MCU first started out and they were doing all those effects, it's like that, but in the 80s is what they do with Raiders, and people were like blown away by it and what they were able to do with it. And to me personally, though, what I would have given this to probably is the Predator final showdown.
That's what it was. It was the final showdown there where he I'm talking too, like when he gets in mud and he's hunting the Predator, the whole third act essentially. So yeah, really good. It really holds up too.
Absolutely.
Brandon's got the Terminator.
It's both terrifying and action packed and exciting, that scene alone.
Brandon says, "Damn, I thought that was closer." Yeah, those are some good action sequences, though, man. I mean, there could have been a lot put in here.
Absolutely.
All right. You did that one, right?
I did best action sequence, so now we're on best sci-fi.
All right. Best science fiction movie, guys. And we got Blade Runner. We have The Thing. We have The Terminator, Predator, and Aliens. So your winner of best science fiction movie is The Terminator by James Cameron. There we have it. Best science fiction movie. And guess what, guys? I got to take a drink.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Terminator finally won.
I have to take a drink. I have to take a drink. The Terminator won.
And what a very deserving winner. I mean, The Thing is great in here. Blade Runner is great. But yeah, I'm shocked. Like, I'm very, very was Empire on here?
No, that was my discretion. I don't look at Star Wars as science fiction at all. I look at it as fantasy, adventure fantasy.
Ah, okay.
Personally, because there's really no science in it. It's not really about that.
Yeah.
Star Trek is science fiction, adventure but it's more science fiction. That's just me. I always looked at Star Wars, and I'm not alone on that. That's why. Brandon says this makes me want to rewatch the Terminator. I know, right? But it's in the adventure fantasy column.
Yeah,
that was science fiction. Yeah, here we go. You're up now, actually.
Yeah. There it is. For best fantasy adventure film, we have Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Empire Strikes Back, E.T., The Goonies, and The Princess Bride. And your winner is The Empire Strikes Back.
Leia! Patience.
There you go, man. There's your movie.
Yeah,
Empire
no.
Strikes Back.
And I'm totally not against that whatsoever. That is a masterpiece, but also The Princess Bride is a masterpiece. I would have been fine with The Princess Bride winning this as well. That is also a phenomenal film from Rob Reiner, who did some great 80s. He did 3 great films in the 80s. Rob Reiner did Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, and The Princess Bride. Like, man, it's kind of crazy.
Not necessarily, my friend. I think anything Star Wars is going to win. Not necessarily. There's like, I thought Empire was going to get a lot more nominations, and it didn't. So
I mean, hey, the throne room scene lost for best action sequence. So, I don't know.
Not going to win for everything.
No.
For sure. Okay. All right. I'm handling best action movie. So we have Die Hard, The Terminator, and fuck this list is stacked, man. Predator, Aliens, and Rambo, First Blood Part 2. So your winner for best action movie is The Terminator wins again, and we're drinking again.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that, Wolfman? The Terminator winning action movie.
You know, I am yeah, I think I am in support of this. I think when I think of Terminator, though, personally, I think more so like the first film as sort of like the slasher film of that franchise. It's like more like the horror film, while something like T2 is more like the action film, in my opinion. So, you know, doing something like from like Aliens, for example, how Aliens, you know, the first one was a horror film and the second one went to action.
Yeah.
Personally, I think I would have leaned a little more Aliens here.
Okay.
But I'm still really happy with Terminator's win.
Well, Terminator is like top 3 films of all time.
Oh yeah.
This is where I don't understand my community. I had First Blood in one of the rounds, and are you fucking nuts? First Blood is not in the top 5 for action movies of the 80s. I don't know. I almost want to drink just because of that. But
But hey, this had a Rambo movie, so hey.
Yeah. Jay says Aliens. I'm way off. Oh, I'm way off. Okay, Terminator is off. Yeah, it is, man. T1 was a ridiculously good movie, and T2 is incredible in its own right. Absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
All right, we're getting to the end. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm making good time, actually. I didn't think it was going to go this fast, but oh well. It's what it is. Me and Wolfman, you guys can do a Q&A. We can do a Q&A after if you guys want for a little bit if we rush through this too much. But now we are on Wolfman.
So for best cinematography, we have The Shining, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Thing, Blade Runner, and The Terminator. And your winner is The Shining.
I won't argue the cinematography on this movie.
Yeah.
I do have issues with the movie, but cinematography, I do not have any issues with. I mean, it is it's a beautifully shot film, but at the same time, I'm thinking Blade Runner is so good with its cinematography, guys. It's so good.
The way every shot in Blade Runner just immerses you into that world just completely is mind-boggling. But The Shining, just the use of color, the way they all bounce off the screen, the way everything looks, and especially on 4K. When I watched it on 4K, it just looks beautiful. So yeah, it is absolutely stunning. I am not complaining whatsoever about The Shining winning here. Also, I want to shout out, The Thing and cinematography.
Yeah.
Because that is also a great looking film. Great camera work there.
For sure, man. For sure. Brandon says this I will give to The Shining. Yeah, I would argue with that one. It's pretty fair. Blade Runner all the way. I probably would have given the edge to Blade Runner personally, guys. But hey, I won't argue with The Shining. I mean, Stanley Kubrick was a photographer, I think, before he became a filmmaker. So the dude understands composition. The dude understands telling a story with picture.
Which makes sense, because look at every single film he's done. 2001: Space Odyssey looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange looks gorgeous. All of his films look fantastic.
Brandon says, have you guys seen the Shiny recreation scene in Ready Plate? No, I haven't.
Ready
Player One. Yes. Yeah, it was good. Fucking Mike Flanagan did an amazing job recreating some of those flashbacks. Amazing job, man. Like, so good. So good.
And also, Chucky makes an appearance in Ready Player One,
he does.
Which is fun.
All right. Was that you, or did I do that one?
I did best cinematography, so you're on best screenplay.
I'm on best screenplay. All right. We got Raiders of the Lost Ark, George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. Dead Poets Society by Peter Weir and Tom Schulman. Die Hard by Jeb Stewart and Steven D'Souza. The Karate Kid by Robert Mark Kamen, and Blade Runner by William S. Burroughs. And your winner for best screenplay is...
I need one of the pieces your father collected.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
All right, guys. I love me some Indiana Jones, but best screenplay?
I have an issue with this one. Major
I
issue.
think Dead Poets Society is fantastically written fucking flick, man. The fact that just did not win, I was really shocked. And again, First Blood not making a screenplay. That character-driven story, like this one threw me for a loop. It's a good adventure movie. I love the way Spielberg brings an old serial back, and it has a good story in an adventure film. But maybe there's a reason why there's an Oscar panel. That's all I'm saying. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
I know. I mean, no, I'm with you, because Dead Poet Society, when you look at that is a film literally about writing. It's all about literature and everything, and just the way you can tell that from the way it's written. And also, I want to just say, how the heck I get it was nominated for a few categories here, but how was The Breakfast Club not nominated for something like a screenplay? Because that is all reliant on its script. Literally, it's just a bunch of people in a room talking for like the entire runtime. It is heavily reliant on its screenplay. I think that is such a great script. I would have loved to see that here. And yeah, this is probably the one I have the most problems with so far, but it is what it is.
Brandon said Dead Poets Society is so emotionally acted. Oh yeah. That is an understatement, my friend. You are absolutely right. And he says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." Let me tell you something. I had to put clips together for something. And so I was doing the end of Dead Poets Society. where they step on the desks and they start going to Captain. It almost brings tears to my eyes. And not many movies do that. There's only a handful of them that will do that. And me and Wolfman are definitely going to dissect that movie one day because it's a movie that we both love, and we'll definitely do that one day and talk about that. It's just a real bleak movie, so it's not exactly something you do on a live stream and have fun with. It's going to be
it's in my top 20 films of all time. I adore it, but it's
bleak, man. It's a bleak movie, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh, this is a good category. So take us. Is it your turn, right?
It is my turn. Yeah.
Take us away, man.
Oh, dang. Okay. So for best director, we've got Steven Spielberg, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Robert Zemeckis, Back to the Future, Richard Donner, Lethal Weapon, John Carpenter, The Thing, and Ridley Scott for Blade Runner. And your winner is Steven Spielberg for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I just had one of the best times of my entire life working on that picture. And it was like recreating a Saturday matinee. It was a cliffhanger. So it was all those films I used to see when I was 8 and 9 years old, the revivals of all the black and white Republic serials.
There you go. Congratulations to Steven Spielberg. Now, this is tough because were you guys voting on just how good Spielberg is as a director, or is Raiders really directed that well? You know what I mean? I think it's directed really, really well. But I think all of these movies are directed well. Lethal Weapon, Blade Runner, Back to the Future. Like, I'm shocked Back to the Future didn't get the edge here with Robert Zemeckis because, man, they had to do tough decisions on that. Firing someone. 75% of the scenes are done.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And
when it comes to snubs, like the fact no James Cameron for Aliens, by the way. Like,
that's pretty. That's a stacked list, man.
It is.
So let me know in the chat. Like, let me know, guys. What do you think? What do you think of Best Director? I didn't give an award for this, but I did put out who had the biggest impact of the 80s. So let me know, guys. I put Spielberg or Stallone. Keep in mind how big Stallone was in the 80s. Now, most of you went with Spielberg, but that was a good little discussion too. Who had the bigger impact in the 80s, Steven Spielberg or Sylvester Stallone? I think it's tough. I think it's tough if you think about the movies Stallone did and everything. So,
sure, but I mean, there's a reason why some people call Steven Spielberg the GOAT for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, he did Jaws, he did Indiana Jones and Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. He did E.T. He's done Jaws, Jurassic Park. He's done all these fantastic movies. That's just like it's. I completely understand as to why he won. I mean, if I had to pick a personal choice in this category, I probably would have leaned like Ridley Scott for Blade Runner. For me,
yeah, man, yeah.
But it's like, but I am not complaining whatsoever about Steven Spielberg winning here because all these films are very well directed.
Brandon says, honestly, Dead Poets and Good Will Hunting are my top 2 Robin Williams emotional performances. Oh, so good. Good Will Hunting. It's one of my favorites.
In my top 10 of all time. Love Good Will Hunting. It's so good.
Tim says, best fight in cinematic history. Rocky v. Drago. Yeah. No, it's a good fight, man. Fachi, cinema. What's going on, J-Man? You are a legend.
Hey, yeah, what's going on?
Drinking tonight, brother. We're drinking tonight.
You bet. It's a celebration.
Best of the 80s, my friend. What's up, brother Fachi? He says, hey, Brandon. All right. We're getting to some good shit now, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. We're getting to the acting now. Now, this is going to be fun. Except for that's the wrong one. Let me pull the right one up, guys. Bear with me. All right. My turn. Or is it your turn? It's your turn, isn't it?
No, I just did Best Director.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Best supporting actress in an 80s film. We got Kathleen Turner from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Dee Wallace from E.T., Jessica Lange from Tootsie, Carrie Henn from Aliens, and Elizabeth Shue from The Karate Kid. And your winner for Best Supporting Actress in an 80s film is Elizabeth Shue from The Karate Kid.
It's your fault. Everything is your fault.
She's good in that movie, man. She makes an impact. She's clearly one of the best. You saw her talent, and she went on to great things. So, I'm not going to argue it too much. I don't think so. Let me look at them again. Yeah, Jessica Lange I thought was pretty good.
She's great.
I think Dee Wallace is better in Cujo than she is in E.T., but E.T.'s great. On Carrie, yeah. I won't argue Elizabeth Shue in this at all.
Yeah, I think in that category, I think that she absolutely was excellent in that one.
For sure.
I do want to, though, give a shout out to someone who didn't make the list, and that is Ali Sheedy for The Breakfast Club. I thought she was.
I think she did the. I think she's in comedy. I think she.
Oh, okay.
Got nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Actress in a Comedy.
That was it. That makes sense. Yeah.
Tim says, "How come Empire Strikes Back in on that list? Supporting Actress, Princess Carrie Fisher." Didn't get voted, I guess.
Yes,
no, there was a lot of good performances, buddy.
Oh yeah.
All right, give us Best Supporting Actor there, Wolfman.
Best Supporting Actor. We've got Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future, Michael Biehn, The Terminator, Val Kilmer, Top Gun, R. Lee Ermey for Full Metal Jacket, and Burgess Meredith for Rocky 3. And your winner is Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
You know something? He won twice for supporting actor for a comedy and the movie. So I think that says a lot about his performance in that. But Burgess Meredith was so good in Rocky 3. That is such a great performance he gave in Rocky 3. Let me pull this up again.
And then, of course, R. Lee Ermey, bro, from Full Metal Jacket. So good in Full Metal Jacket. Oh my
God. Who the fuck said that? Listen, you little fucking wear my fucking skull. Fuck you to your fucking.
What the hell is this, Private Powell? I love that performance. And then, of course, Michael Biehn in The Terminator. Man, so good.
These lists here right now are stacked.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, they're stacked, man. For sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Best actor. Sorry. Shit, I'm missing one, I think.
We're on Best Actress right now, and then
yes,
which is
I'm missing it though. I don't know where the hell it is. Hold on, guys. Should be in my computer here somewhere. I don't think I put it in. Just hold on for a minute. It should be in here.
Oh yeah, that should be fine.
If not, I have a list on my. I know I don't. I have the winner. I don't have the. Let's see if I can find it here. I just probably didn't load for some reason. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Here it is. Here we go. It's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Best actress, guys, is Sigourney Weaver from Aliens, Glenn Close from Fatal Attraction, Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Michelle Pfeiffer from Scarface, and Linda Hamilton from The Terminator. And your winner for Best Actress of an 80s movie is Sigourney Weaver from Aliens.
Her 11th birthday. Oh.
So fucking good. I'm not going to argue this at all.
Yeah. Not going to argue this whatsoever.
She actually was nominated for an Oscar for this role. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think we're all on the same benchmark here.
She was probably the best performance in this entire category. I would agree with that.
Brandon says that Full Metal Jacket is another one to be on my watch list. Yeah, it's a good one, man.
Absolutely.
Tim says, this is like the Oscars. Who the hell didn't pick First Blood Part 2? Hey, it won, actually, for Best Hero.
Yeah.
John Rambo won for Best Hero. He actually won. Because that's for that movie, so technically it won an award. And it got an Oscar nom in real life for sound editing for First Blood Part 2.
That's true.
Well, if you don't know that. All right.
And then I think it's my
Best
turn.
Actor, two left.
Yes.
There you go.
So for Best Actor, we have Robin Williams, Dead Poets Society, Sylvester Stallone, First Blood, Al Pacino, Scarface, Bruce Willis, Die Hard, and Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon. And your winner is Sylvester Stallone, First Blood.
He's laying there and he's fucking screaming. There's pieces of him all over me, just like this, and I'm trying to pull him off, you know.
Hell yeah. I'm glad to see Stallone finally win something. Hey, I'm a fan, guys. I'm not going to argue with this. I think this is underrated performance. I don't think it gets looked at enough. But this was a stacked list as too. We got Al Pacino and Scarface. We got Robin Williams and Dead Poets Society, which it was so hard to determine because it's almost the supporting actor role, but apparently it was a lead role, Robin Williams. So I don't know,
because he was nominated, I believe, for lead actor at the Academy Awards. When
I think so
for Dead Poets Society, yeah.
But I mean, this is a performance by Stallone that gets overlooked, I think, and a lot of people. Definitely the people who sit on the Oscar train don't recognize it because it's kind of an action. It's an action thriller, right? So, but the end of that movie there, his performance is so good. He's good through the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was not Robin Williams was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role. So technically, he is a leading role for Dead Poets Society.
It's kind of weird because he's really not the main character.
Yeah,
Ethan Hawke is the main character if you think about it.
I do feel kind of like he is the main character. Yeah, Ethan Hawke.
And I think he won for Good Will Hunting for supporting actor. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
the one he won for.
Which very well deserved.
Yeah, Brandon says Robin Williams here.
Such a versatile actor, man. He can do like comedy so well, and just be fun and over the top, and then the next moment he can just completely rip your heart out with just an emotion.
Well, he's really good in The Fisher King.
Oh, so good in that. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I love that movie. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're on Best Picture, guys, or Best Movie. So Best Movie, we got The Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, Die Hard, Predator, and The Terminator. Those are your top 5 80s movies of all time, apparently. And the winner is Best Movie of the 1980s is Back to the Future.
Hey, McFly!
This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
There you have it. Best picture is Back to the Future. I won't argue with that at all. I'm shocked Predator actually made the top 5, to be honest with you. But it's a great movie. It's a perfect movie as far as I'm concerned, Back to the Future. So I absolutely love that flick. What do you think, Wolfman?
Yeah, I think that this is really, really great pick. Let me see the list again just real quick to run through all of them. It is Back to the Future. We've got talk about a stat category here. We've got Empire, Die Hard, Predator, Terminator, Back to the Future. Back to the Future, very worthwhile, very worthy winner in my opinion. It's phenomenal. One of the best films of the 80s for sure. I would have personally gone with Empire Strikes Back, but I'm not complaining whatsoever. I think that all these films are worthy of a win. If you would have said any of these films, I would not have really argued it at all. I think each one of these in my eyes are worthy of being hailed as the best movie of the 80s. So
excellent.
Yeah,
there. I believe Back to the Future won the most awards, guys. I stand to be corrected on that, but I think it is. I think it won 4 or 5. So, let me see here. Rocky 3. Yeah, Back to the Future won Best Score. Back to the Future won Supporting Actor in Comedy and Supporting Actor in a regular movie. It won Best Comedy. What else did it win? And it won, 5. It won Best Film. That's 5. It cleaned up.
And
which I've always said, Back to the Future is your quintessential 80s movie. You think about the 80s, that's the movie that I'm drawn to. That's the movie I think about, even though it's not my favorite 80s film. That would be First Blood, most likely. So but that didn't even make the list. So, but First Blood, Terminator, Predator, they're like my Aliens. They're my top 4 80s movies.
Oh yeah, but Back to the Future, I feel it's just a film for everyone. I feel like literally, I think everyone can get something out of Back to the Future. You know, some of these other films might appeal to certain demographic and all that kind of stuff, but Back to the Future is just truly is magic, like what Brandon Bottom says.
It's complete magic. It's Tim says Spielberg. That's not even a question. Tim's a big Spielberg fan. So am I, actually. I love Spielberg.
I was surprised there was no Raiders on that list for best 80s.
Yeah,
movies.
so was I. It was getting nominated for everything else. I'm like, I guess Predator was on there. So
yeah,
it was kind of strange what people voted for, but
and hey, I guess you're happy the audience tonight didn't say Back to the Future is their pick for the most voted movie, because then you would have been taking so many shots throughout the show.
I'd be taking a lot more shots.
Oh yeah,
but that was fun.
Absolutely.
That was a lot of work to put all together. So I thank you guys all for the last few months, bearing with me, trying to put this together. You know, I run the channel all by myself. I create every thumbnail. I do every edit. I organize everything. So I really thank you for all your patience and all that kind of stuff. And this was fun night sitting here with you, Wolfman. It's been too long, dude. It's been too long.
Very, very. It's been way too long. We needed to collaborate like this more often, my man. And I'm so thankful that you had me on for this. And it just was a great award show. I mean, hey, right on the eve of Oscars when the Oscars
That wasn't planned that way.
It's like, oh yeah, but but hey, I mean, and some people will even argue this is probably a better award show than the Oscars. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, I haven't watched many new movies, so I don't know what's even gonna be on there. So, but hey, whatever. I'll catch up when I can. I know that Oppenheimer I can watch for free now, and well, not free. I have Prime, but it's on there. So a lot of people tell me to watch it. I've heard mixed things about it. They're saying it's not as good as people make it out to be, but we'll see.
I really liked it a lot, and it's right now the one that's like probably going to win Best Picture because it's been winning all the other award shows.
Brandon says the idea of would you befriend your parents if you went to high school together? Well, that's what's so. I think that's a lot of people miss that about Back to the Future is that they set the scene up that to Marty, his life that's his life. His parents are very distant from each other. They're not a close knit family really. They're sitting at the dinner table, but they're just kind of, freaking buddies laughing, and Marty's like getting a lecture on staying away from girls, and he wants to do this audition with the guitar become a musician, and they're like discouraging him, and it's just not a good scene, right? But he goes to back to the past. And he finds out, his dad was a very had no confidence, was picked on, and he changes everything. He gives his dad he becomes like the father to him, right? Giving him these lessons, and everything changed because when he stood up for himself, it caused this chain reaction, and he became successful and everything. And the relationship with him and Doc, too, about, feel like they're best friends, even though they're like, one's an old scientist, one's a kid, right? But it's fantastic writing that way where Marty didn't plan to change anything. It's just that's what happened.
Yeah. And it's just such a fascinating story because we're all obviously attached to our own parents in our own way, and it's like it's just the concept of like challenging the relationships you have with your own parents and how close you are with your own parents, and saying like, would you, if y'all were in high school together, would y'all be like friends, if you didn't really know your parents as your parents and they were just some people that you were in school. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. And I do have a watch along coming up in April of that movie, ending my watch party series. And me and Wolfman will be doing the professional when we can get a time booked. I still got to do that one for you guys, and then
that's my favorite action movie.
Yeah, then we'll be wrapping up that watch party series, and I'll be taking a break from watch parties, other than the Godzilla on Caleb's channel, and then in the summer I'm doing a Predator watch along series with Caleb. So it's just going to be him. Me and him are doing every movie. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a lot of fun, dissecting those movies in a watch party format. So, which segues into MegaMoviez. What you got coming up there, Wolfman? What are you doing lately?
Thank you. Yeah, you can subscribe to the channel MegaMoviez, where we have been all season long doing a bunch of awards conversations. And of course, because the Oscars are coming up, tonight we'll be doing our final Oscar prediction stream, stuff like that, finally giving you guys our like completely final predictions. And then tomorrow night we'll be doing a live watch party for the Oscars themselves. So if you guys, whether y'all watch the Oscars or even if y'all don't, and y'all just want to see a bunch of fools just react to it and get drunk and all that stuff, and come and check us out on that stream. It'll be a lot of fun. And also because of it being the month that we're in with St. Patrick's Day, speaking of drunk, that's a good segue because this March, around March 16th, I will be doing the monthly mistake, as we're calling it, which is our drinking game series that we do, where once a month we do a special movie that we do a drinking game to. And this month's movie will be, we did last year, we did Leprechaun in the Hood, and now we're doing Leprechaun Back to the Hood. So you guys can definitely look forward to that. That'll be a great one. And speaking of the Leprechaun movies, I'm going through all the Leprechaun movies right now, watching every single one of those shitty films just to be able to give you guys a ranking of them on St. Patrick's Day. So you guys can look forward to that and a lot of other great videos coming your way. So definitely subscribe to the channel. And yeah.
Yeah, it's my birthday's on St. Patrick's Day, so that's coming up.
Nice. You better be wearing green or else your family will pinch you.
My son wants to get me a Predator cake.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, he goes, "Let's go get a Predator cake for you, Dad."
Dude, if he does, you have to send me a photo.
I'll send you a photo, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tim says my dad quit high school in grade 10, so if I went back in time, you wouldn't have been there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If you would have gone back to his freshman year of high school, or if you would have gone back in time, because if he quit school,
my mom and dad didn't meet in high school, so that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I definitely would have been.
For sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first annual 1980s award show, or btcinema award show. This was a lot of fun, dude. Go subscribe to MegaMoviez and all that kind of stuff. You'll have a good time on his channel. And yeah, I don't know. I thought about doing a Rocky award show, maybe this fall. I don't know. I'll think about it, guys. It'll be a lot shorter. Obviously, it won't be as much work because I'd only really include 6 movies. The first 6 movies, and best fight scene, best supporting actor. I don't know. I haven't thought about it that far ahead, but I thought a Rocky award show would be kind of fun.
That would be. Yeah.
Brandon says, great stream. Great show, guys. Stream. Tim says, have a shot. I'll have a shot for you, my friend.
But it's the last shot of the night.
It's a good thing the J-Man can handle his liquor, because
yeah,
I'd be an absolute mess on here. So for you, Mr. Tim.
I mean, hey, the Wolfman, if y'all go back and watch some of our drinking game and stuff, I mean, I cannot handle my liquor that well, but hey, it makes it more fun. So, I mean,
yeah. Brandon says, cheers for you. Tim says, when's the Stallone marathon night? Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh,
They want to do all night of Stallone movies.
All night?
All night. Like, I was thinking about taking a day off in the summer, maybe, and starting at noon and going to 10 at night. Doing a marathon of,
That'd be crazy.
I
mean, you could do like a 24-hour live stream or something like that.
Fuck that! I'm too old for that shit, man.
I did a 24-hour live stream once just for YouTube to say, no, this is inappropriate. We're gonna ban it from your channel, and it's like, okay, that's dumb. But yeah.
I still got to do a Rocky trivia night, but I want to get teams together and all that kind of stuff. And I even have a trivia Rocky book that someone wrote. So it's all trivia on Rocky.
Oh, wow.
Book. Yeah. So that'd be a lot of fun. And you don't ever see a Rocky trivia night. You see everything else, but so that'd be fun.
Which, hey, I mean, I guess that's a good segue to announce something that we'll be starting up on the channel sometime during like the summer season. We're thinking about starting up our own trivia league. So it'll be almost like a tournament thing to where like channels will compete against each other. I'll actually have somebody who will like design championships, and whoever wins the championship, they'll get that championship belt mailed to them, or trophy or something like that. And it's one of those kind of things where it's like a full on, like almost like WWE, but with a league of just like completely movie trivia. So it'll be great.
Absolutely, Tim. You'd definitely be someone I would think of bringing on.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But anyways, guys, I better get going. Getting kind of hungry with all this booze, so.
Oh yeah, don't want to drink on an empty stomach. That's for sure.
But anyways, guys, you guys all have a good night. I will see you next time. Pull my thing up, and I'll see you in the movies, guys. And I hope you stick around for. I got some good content coming up. Soon, I got to record some shit. But I got some good stuff coming up. That's all I can say. So yeah, I'll see you later. You guys all have a good night, and thank you again, Wolfman, for coming on.
Absolutely, thank you so much for having me.
Cheers.
Yeah.